today is my day when I leave for Bera from Ajmer. I enjoyed camping in Pushkar, and I really enjoyed my stay in Ajmer at Badnoor House. And I would like you to meet my host, Mr. Sanjay Singh, who really looked after me. And he runs a 6-room bed and breakfast.
Kamani,
thank you for hosting me.
It was a pleasure having you here with us.
How did you start this idea of this bed and breakfast?
So Badnoor House is a niche boutique heritage homestay.
Right.
I've tried to create a home away from home.
Yeah.
And the guest coming to Badnoor House is assured of a personalized experience. Which is its key.
That I can vouch for.
Yeah, which is its key USP of the place.
Yes. Mr. Sanjay Singh Badnoor will also take you around if you request him before you check in, if you let him know that you would like him to showcase his city of Ajmer. And thank you. Thank you.
Lovely having you. Thank you so much.
We are off to Bera now, and I'll see you when I reach Bera. Once I left Badnoor House for Bera, I realized I had spare time, so I decided to visit Mayo College, which is a boys-only independent boarding school in Ajmer. It was founded in year 1875 by Richard Byrd, the 6th Earl of Mayo, who also served as the Viceroy of India between 1869 to 1872. I was fortunate that the principal director, General Kulkarni, was able to spare time for us. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at Mayo College in Ajmer, an institution which has raised many Maharajas and today's global citizens. I have the pleasure of company of Lieutenant General Kulkarni, who is now the Director Principal of Mayo College. He is the 17th man who has taken the command of raising these India's tomorrow, actually. That's how I would put it, because that is where we Indians are very proud to have Mayo College as an institution. So I would request you to tell us that how does it feel running an institution after serving the army as Lieutenant General and now an institution?
Well, for me, my journey began from here because I was a student here many years ago myself.
Sir.
So actually it's more a homecoming than coming to a new assignment. So yes, it's a completely different world, but we are here to invest in the leadership potential of our young generation.
Exactly.
And I think the Army gave me 4 decades of practice in leadership.
So, when I was reading about Mayo College and its history, 1875, and the only student was Maharaj of Alwar, Maharaj Mangal Singh. How many students do we have today, sir?
Today we have about 750 students, which for the size of such a big campus is still not too many students.
Sir.
But we want to keep the numbers small. Because we want to give every child personal attention.
Sir.
And we want to give every child a chance to have a full holistic education, not mere schooling.
Sir, yes. That's a very outstanding ideology, because we are not mass producing, we are having children, and under the patronage and your command, I'm sure we will do. Can you tell us something about the architecture of this beautiful building?
Yes, this building, which is our main building, it's in 2 parts. You see one here, and behind it is a segment that was added in 1910. But the important thing is there are 2 facets to it. One, it represents Indo-Saracenic architecture. And the second thing is that the raw marble that was used for this building comes from the same mines from where we got the marble for the Taj Mahal.
Makrana marble. And this Indo-Saracenic, if I'm not wrong, Swinton Jacob used, he practiced a lot of that Indo-Saracenic architecture. So it does reflect the baronial tower and the beautiful Rajasthani arch and the cupolas. And that's I believe Lord Mayor standing right there.
The statue of Lord Mayor.
So thank you for having us, sir. Thank you for having us at a very short notice. Thank you very much. After Mayo College, I continued my journey to Bera, which is about 263 kilometers south of Ajmer. Hidden in the heart of Rajasthan, Bera is a small town in Pali district with a substantial number of leopards. Bera of late is gaining popularity as a leopard country. The river Jawai and Jawai Dam, scenic place surrounded by hills, is home to huge crocodiles apart from a number of resident and migratory birds. To photograph leopards, Bera should be in the bucket list of every wildlifer. Bera offers classic landscape with the Aravalli hills, dotting scrub land vegetation. Hillocks with caves provide a perfect habitat for leopards. What a lovely morning. We are trying to find leopard this morning. I'm in a village called Kotar, which is not far from the lodge where we are, and this is beautiful leopard country. As you can see behind me, the landscape is very, very dramatic, and you know, a lot of bush. It's semi-arid landscape. Bera has a lot of wildlife to offer. You can see a part of leopards, sloth bear, blue boar, and deer. Indian gazelle is also found here. Fox, porcupines. That's what you can find here. This is a very tranquil and a very peaceful country. I just had a peacock behind me. Peacocks and monkeys will give lovely, you know, they will give us a sign. They will give us a call once they see a predator on move. The monkeys and the peacocks give alarm calls, and that's how you know which direction to go to and where you can find the spotted cats. In local language, they are called chitro. Chitro means spotted one, literally, and that's what I'm looking for this morning. There was a cub. If you can see that dark, very dark rock, that's where the leopard cub came out this morning. And aapka naam kya hai bhai? And my driver here, Baljeet, he's a wonderful chap. He's been taking us all over the place, and this is because what is very peculiar about Bera is that there's no wild and human conflict, because they have learned to coexist and enjoy the land, and people here are very, very careful about conservation. Conservation is something which comes to them naturally. The land is also famous for nomadic tribal community. They're called Leopards. I'm going to take us there later in the day, and so let's concentrate on finding chitro. What a beautiful morning. We saw Jia and her 3 cubs. Now we've finished with our morning game drive, and now I'm just going to see a little bit of landscape, and we'll talk to you about what is around this area and the Leopards. And later on, we are the final destination for the day, for the morning, is the Jawai Dam, and that's what we're doing this morning. And let's go see some landscape. I am visiting Bera. Bera happens to be a small town in the heart of Rajasthan. Bera is famous for its leopards and rebaris, and beautiful landscape, scrubland, lot of bush, dried deciduous, and what is amazing is the landscape is littered and with this rocks, volcanic rocks, and Aravali hills are surrounding. It's just amazing. As part of the wildlife, what you get to see in Bera is leopards, sloth bears, hyenas, jackals, fox, and crocodiles. There are many water bodies and huge crocodiles you get to see here. There's nothing better. If you love wildlife, this is the place for you to come. The other thing which I am going to showcase is the rebaris. These are shepherds who live in this area, and their language, the way they deal with everyday life is just amazing. We will be meeting some rebaris as well, because that is what the people are very important. Bera is a place where there's no human wildlife conflict. It's just amazing. I'll catch you. So I'm going to the dam from here, Jawai Dam, because that is where we get to see the birds, migratory. There are a lot of birds visiting this part of Rajasthan. So I'll catch you there at the Jawai Dam. Bye-bye. I'm standing on the edge of Jawai Sagar Dam, which was commissioned by Maharaja Umed Singh Ji of Jodhpur in summer of 1946. The reason behind making this dam was to irrigate the land around the area. The capacity of the dam is about 8,000 million cubic feet. Isn't that outstanding? And it took, the dam was completed in 1957. This reminds me of one of our prime ministers, Mr. Lal Bahadur Shastri, a great man, a great philosopher, a great statesman, who said, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, that India should praise its warriors, its army and its farmers, because our farmers add so much to our economy. India's economy is based on agriculture, but this dam today brings a lot of people from across the globe, not only for the leopards and sloth bears and what have you, but also for a huge amount of migratory birds. So if you're into wildlife and you like bird watching, this is what I would really like to suggest, that you should add Jawai Sagar Dam to the Indian bucket list, and that's what you should be doing. Thank you. Really enjoyed my time visiting the Bera leopard range, Kothar range I was in, and we saw 3 cubs and their mother later on. And the amazing thing was the size of the crocodiles on the lake is just phenomenal. Now I am heading towards a village where these nomadic people called rebaris live. These are the people who live off the land and their lifestyle. We will learn about their lifestyle and how they make a living. So now I have come to meet Rebari. Rebari literally means people who live outside. Rebaris are people who raise cattle, especially sheep, goat and sometimes cows. You see these dried branches and they come from Juliflora and Acacia. This is minded that this is where they live outside, out in the country, away from the towns, because they have large number of sheep and cow and goats. So they have to protect their homes, families. So what they do with these branches, dried branches, is that they put a fence around their house, and that's how they protect their cattle, which is actually all what they have. And their houses are very simple, minimalistic, and they're made from bricks, and the plaster is normally cow dung and clay mixed together, and that's how they make their houses here. One house, very simple structure, but what you can see here, and I can see electricity meter, and this gives me a lot of pleasure that government is also doing a lot of stuff, providing facilities to farmers or people who live in the country, because our country's economy is based on agriculture, and the government is doing really a good job. A very simple structure, cow dung and clay mixed together for plaster. Inside it is bricks, and the structure for the roof is made from bamboo and also sometimes big branches of Juliflora. This is bamboo which grows in abundance, and the tiles are handmade clay tiles. And this is how the roof is made. Very simple structure and very clean. Actually, this is a modern structure, modern part of the structure, where they are keeping fodder. This is fodder for the cattle, and they have their stove, wood-fired stove outside, because winter time it's really getting hot. It's about 11 o'clock right now, and after the dam I came here. So I was talking about weather and the temperatures. Daytime temperature in October can go up to 28 degrees to 30 degrees, which can bother people because the sun is very strong, and at night time the temperatures drop up to 10-12 degrees. So nights are cold for us in India. 12 is cold for us. And what another feature of this household or the family, how do they transport things from town to this middle of the country? This is a locally made cart where they use ox normally to drive it, and they can take fodder in it, they can take children to school, whatever, but this is the basic transport. This thing is called parat. This can carry fodder, chopped fodder, or cow dung, because that is how cow dung or goat dung, that is the most potent manure for them, manure which they use for their farms. This is a shed which is used for housing their cows and goat, sheep, whatever. But what is interesting is this cover. This is actually tender leaf, and this is also the countryside. They smoke this country cigar, which we call bidi, and that's made from that tree, that leaf, tendu leaf. So I got to know that the shepherd has already left Normally they leave about 10 o'clock, but today he left early. He had some work in the country, so I'm going to find him and I will talk to him about his culture, how they make a living, things they do, and just about life in the country as a Rabari. The peculiar thing about Rabaris is their headgear. They wear this beautiful red massive turban, which is just striking, and the tunic which they wear is called angraka, and the trousers which they wear is called dhoti. It's a wraparound. It's a fabric which is about 5 to 7 meters long, depending on season, many things. And the turbans, the style of turban, the way of tying it tells you that which community, which caste and which region people come from. It's just like this Scottish kilt that you get to know the clan. It works exactly the same way. So now I'm going to find this Rabari friend of mine, and let's see what he has to say, because I'm sure that I'll also learn many things. Close encounters are very intimate. People are very, very humble and very warm, and I'm sure we will have a good session with him. So I go off to meet my Rabari friend. Driver sahab, you can't, that's something again I want to point out. You can't call somebody just driver. You have to be, in India we always pay lot of respect to people. Driver sahab, ab apan chal rahe, wo Rabari se milne. So you always say address. In Rajasthan we use a word sa, driver sa, or you know, whoever you address, like, just like in Japan they say san, or that's how we use sa. So he's driver sahab, wo apan chahala mino milwane Rabari wo aage gyo pro, to apan bata mila. Okay guys, and here I go.
I left the house of my Rabari friend to go and look for him into the field. That's where I knew where he was going to be. Just to give you an idea about Rabari community, which is a nomadic pastoral community indigenous to northwest India, particularly modern-day Gujarat and Rajasthan. Traditionally, the Rabaris keep and maintain flocks of sheep and goat. The Rabari community cherishes its custom, mythology, history, ancestral heritage, which are intimately entwined with the traditional occupation of sheep and goat keeping. It was wonderful meeting him and giving him hand, dealing with the fodder he had collected from the village green. His goats he told me about, and his family, and the jewelry he was wearing. It's very traditional, it's all silver. And when he got married, his father-in-law had given him the anklet and the bracelet and the necklace he was wearing. And his turban, the Rabari turban, is just outstanding. It's his, just to understand what he had been up to in last few years, because I was meeting him after some time, his children, and I think he got married again, and just out being in the country was fantastic. And so this is where I end this episode, and now my next stop is Ranakpur. Please keep supporting us. My Instagram handle is _Indian_bucket list, and our YouTube channel is The Indian Bucket List.